Thank you. Viral Gang, what's the deal? We back at it, man. Shout out the whole Viral Gang, man. Shout out to everybody that's subscribed. If you're not subscribed, hit that notification bell, hit that subscription button. Support is free, man. All you got to do is click and scroll. Shout out to all of y'all, though. Man, we got to talk about a serious topic today. We've been having fun. We've been talking about music. Let's get serious for a minute. And before we talk about this, let me say this. This isn't any hate speech towards any communities. This is our take, how we feel about it. Real, raw, and uncut. If you get offended, nigga, that's on you. So recently, Lil Boosie and his daughter had a conflict. What was behind that conflict?
So she is lesbian and she's been having a girlfriend, I guess. And he was saying that he doesn't want her at the house with the girlfriend because it could rub off on the kids. So he was saying, I don't want this shit rubbing off on the kids. Keep her away from the crib. I don't want to see y'all at the crib together. Pretty much. But she come out and he says that, but then he has parties at the crib where there's women on women.
Wow.
So how are you going to be mad at me for bringing a girl in if you got girls in the crib?
And we all know Boosie has been very, very, very vocal about the LGBT community and his feelings on homosexuality. So it's almost ironic that the universe gave him a homosexual daughter. Crazy. I mean, it always seems to line up that way, right? Yeah. But one of the questions we wind up asking each other was, how would you feel if you had a gay son or a daughter? Now, as far as the Boosie thing goes, man, that's kind of crazy because it is a contradiction. As a man, we always, I need two bitches. I need a bitch eating her pussy while I'm hitting it from the back. It's all good
until it's
for the geese, but then when it's time for the gander, now it's a no-go. So it's like either you believe in it or you don't. It's kind of fucked up because as a man, you love 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, 5 women.
Yeah.
You just don't want your daughter to be one of them 5 women.
Yeah.
It's a double standard, but that's just the way that shit goes.
Yeah.
But to say your daughter can't come to the house, that's a different level of wildness. Like, you could not like it, but at the end of the day, that's still your daughter. So I don't know, man.
I know people who have taken that, super, super tough love approach. So I mean, I can't really tell nobody how to parent their kid, but if it was me, I don't think I would be like, damn, you can't come to the crib. Like, because at the end of the day, I still want you to be like cool. I want you to be straight and I feel like you got a parent to go to instead of going to somebody else. Whether maybe I'm not super comfortable with hearing about your relationship, but I would like to be on good enough terms with you where, hey, Pop, I ran into this situation or I need help here or whatever, and you still feel like, okay, I could go to you. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not comfortable again with that, but still I want you to be able to come to me. So I don't think I'd be like, you can't come to the crib. I might say some shit, but I think at the end of the day, like what am I going to do? I don't know.
Well, I have a son and a daughter, so I can honestly answer this question. I used to think, oh man, gay daughter, I'd rather that than a gay son. Then I had kids, and it's tough either way it goes. Son or daughter, because you want to see your kids grow up and have a successful relationship and have a successful family, a nuclear family with a mother and a father. Now they doing all this new remix shit, and how whatever your beliefs is, you got the right to that. That don't mean everyone has to agree with it. I don't personally agree with it. I don't think you should have 2 moms. I don't think you should have 2 dads.
Yeah, I don't.
I think maybe you could have a village. But at home, under your roof, there needs to be a mother and a father, the nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough either way. Even if, like, let's say your daughter comes home and now she got a girl. Bro, once you start dealing with women and you see the mind frame of these women who like women, there's no way you would want your daughter to turn out that way. Like, this ain't no hate speech, but every lesbian, I can't say the D word. I don't even know if I can say that. Every lesbian, bro, they always got some type of mental problems. They're always in super abusive relationships.
Well, you've seen the stats on that, right?
The stats of woman on woman domestic violence is through the roof. it is way higher than male on female domestic violence. Like they always try to paint the men as the violent ones and we need to be afraid of men. No, y'all need to be afraid of each other because y'all be beating the fuck out of each other. And ain't nobody more jealous than the gay bitch. Especially when she think her woman is about to go straight.
Yeah,
or has even a possibility going straight. Like, they don't even want their woman looking at another man, talking to another man. You go in the club and say hello to her woman while she at the bar getting drinks. She come back ready to go upside her head and all type of shit. They be ready to fight you. And bro, I done had lesbians texting my phone talking about I'm finna come smoke you and blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, the craziest shit in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so to see that and then now look at your daughter and go, there's no way in fuck I would want that because I see what's behind that. You could say all that, oh, she understand me better and all that. That shit is usually always dysfunctional as fuck. And I'm talking about since high school, analyzing this since high school. I've always sat back and watched the homegirls who was gay. I want to say out of 10, 9 were abusive. They always fighting because they both women. A woman's gonna fight a woman. Like that just is what it is. Especially if she's gay, portraying a man, they really get to thinking that they men and oh yeah, I could whoop her ass. And now they bop, 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 now they going at it every chance they get. It's just nah, I couldn't do it. But a son,
that's way tougher.
I don't think there's no way I could do that.
I'm gonna keep it at it with you. I'm keeping it at it with you.
There's no way I could do that, bro, because bro, it's just no way.
I'm not about to be at the dinner table and you just lean over and smooch your nigga, bro. That's crazy.
It's no way. Like everything that a man is supposed to be in this world. First of all, let's just look at it from a logical explanation. If men and women aren't together, humans cease to exist because you need a man and a woman to create a child. You need a man and a woman to create life. You need sperm and eggs to create life. Like, there's no way around it. I don't care if you go to a sperm bank or adopt. Those babies still need a man and a woman. Mm-hmm. Those babies you adopted came from a man and a woman. So either way it goes, you need a man and a woman. Now, if you want to do some extracurricular shit for your sexual pleasure, that's something totally different. But if we was just to make everybody gay, humans cease to exist. So right then and there, that don't make sense. Off of that alone. But I know I got logic, I got sense. There's always been gay people. It's always going to be gay people. So I'm not one of them people that's finna be going crazy because a few people choose to be gay. Yeah. You just low-key pray to God it ain't your son. Because as a man, I don't give a fuck. Ain't no man want that for his son. Yeah, you want your man to be more, you want your son, pause. You want your son to be more of a man than you. You want your son to be harder than you. You want your son to be stronger than you. You want your son to make more money than you. You want your son to have a more beautiful wife than you. You want your son to be you magnified times 1,000,000. And that's the difference between men and women. Men want their sons to outshine them. We ain't in competition. I'm trying to mold you to be better than me. So nah, bro, I don't think there's no way I could do that.
Now, where do you take it where, say it does come into play, like, but are you going to the extent of saying to your daughter, hey, you can't have her at the crib? Are you going to that extent? Or are you
I'm not going to that extent with my daughter. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna hurt you, but after a while, you're just gonna have to accept it because all that's gonna make it seem like to her is you hate her. Yeah. And that's gonna cause mental problems, more mental problems than she already is dealing with. And that could cause her to do something to herself. So at a certain point, you have to let go of your pride and your ego because it's really you not being able to accept what your child has already accepted. It's your refusal of accepting what they accept. And they're gonna do it anyway. So at that point, you gotta roll with the punches. Now, as far as your son bringing,
it's a difference. It's like, come
that's
on,
crazy.
Man.
Your son come home with a nigga buffer than you, and
I just don't think I could do it.
I don't think I could do that.
Do it.
And this ain't no hate to the gay community,
at all.
Bro.
No. It's you do what you do, but exactly like I think most men that are raised, you know what I mean. We all have the same sentiment that I don't want my son to come home with a dude. I really don't. And if you know what I mean, if that makes me homophobic, then so be it. But I feel like you want, like you said, your son to be a better man than you times 100. So to have your son then go that route, it's going to hurt. It's going to be very hard, I think, for a lot of men to cope with and deal with for a while because it's like you don't want your son to be that way. You weren't that way. And I think most straight men, you know what I mean, we not necessarily okay with that. Like, I've never really ran into men who are like, you know what, I want that for my son. I've ran into men who have been like, you know, if it happens, it happens. But I ain't never met a nigga who's like, yeah, I want my son to be gay, or I'm outright.
No heterosexual male gonna
never
sit here and say he would prefer his son to be homosexual. I'm sorry. It just does not make sense. And with all of this acceptance of all this stuff, no one ever thinks about the child. Think about when you was a kid. Would you want two dads showing up at back to school night? Would you want two moms showing up at back to school night?
And how we was raised, niggas is gonna get on you so tough. Niggas gonna get on you so crazy.
Roasted something vicious, and they got the internet now. So now it's times 100 of what we had to endure. It's just I just believe in nuclear families, man, woman, child, man, woman, children. That's just my belief. I don't knock nobody for their lifestyle choices. I'm not here to try to change your mind for your lifestyle choices. But for the children I'm raising, that's how I want them to turn out. Man, woman, child, and be very, very successful with a strong nuclear black family. That's just me. So,
and I think maybe you know, Boosie in his case, maybe he can do some self-reflection to look at, okay, where did this take this turn, right? Like, what did she go through, or what did she experience to end up this way? Because, you know, I feel like he's under the sentiment of this doesn't just happen, right? Like, you're not just born this way. So I would wonder if he could maybe do some self-reflection and see where down the line maybe he had a part to play, if any, in this outcome. And if he did, would that help him better accept the situation that's in front of him? You know what I mean? Because if you're able to accept, okay, maybe I did have some, you know what I mean, something to do with her turning out this way, then you would have to accept it at some point.